One thing makes this story different to me from other ghost stories. The Marfa lights are absolutely real, and I've seen them myself. So have many West Texans, and you can too. But even after more than 100 years, no one has succeeded in explaining these glowing orbs that float above the West Texas plain. Nowadays, they're often said to be car headlights, even though car headlights don't dance, swoop upwards, split apart, and join together. Folks who saw them in the 1880s, 1910s, and 1920s assumed they were campfires, even though, quote, it didn't act anything like a campfire at all. That's the legendary rancher Hallie Stillwell, speaking of the lights she saw in 1916 when she was a teenager. Others have said the lights are related to the ghost of Alzate, the last leader of the Chisos Mescalero Apaches, who was killed in 1882. In the 1940s, military pilots tried to chase the lights from the air, but saw nothing. You can see the Marfa lights for yourself. They don't appear every night, or even most nights, so you're going to need some luck. Drive out Highway 90 east of Marfa and park at the little viewing area. Look across Mitchell Flat toward the Chinati Mountains. As it grows dark, you'll start to see headlights sweeping along the curve of Highway 67 off in the distance. But if you're lucky, you'll see something else. The Marfa lights I've seen appeared larger and closer than the distant highway lights. They moved above the brush and danced erratically, divided and merged. It's tough to judge distance and motion in the dark, but I consider myself a pretty skeptical observer, and highway headlights don't cover what I saw. And most observers agree there's something out there. A retired aerospace engineer and Presidio County native named James Bunnell has made extensive observations of the area and the different types of lights. Some are easily defined, like the headlights, but he points out there are other light sources, and not all of those have been explained. So what are the mysterious ones? Bunnell's theory is that tectonic activity creates electrical energy underground. That's similar to explanations that scientists have begun to offer for the phenomenon known as earthquake lights, flickers, flares, and glowing orbs that are seen around an earthquake. Like the Marfa lights, they've been reported for decades, 1888 in New Zealand, 1930 in Japan, and as more lights have been captured in photos, scientists have come to accept they're real and started trying to explain why they happen. But earthquake lights are hard to study because it's still difficult to predict when earthquakes will happen. Maybe the scientists need to drive out Highway 90, a little ways toward Alpine, bundle up on a cold night, sit at a picnic table, and watch toward the mountains. Read Marfa Light's history and lore, and scientific theories for these types of lights at linktr.ee TexasGhostTales, and listen to other stories here at Texas Ghost Tales on Instagram.